Welcome. Today, we leave the world of men behind. We leave the cities of stone and the fields of green. We travel north, far north, beyond the snow, beyond the ice, to the roots of the world tree, Yggdrasil. In the Norse mind, time is not a straight line. It is a circle, and at the end of that circle waits a shadow that even the gods fear. They call it Ragnarok, the twilight of the gods. It is not just a war. It is the end of everything. The sun will turn black. The stars will fall. The earth will sink into the sea. But the most terrifying part of Ragnarok is not the fire or the blood. It is the fact that it is inevitable. Odin, the All-Father, knows it is coming. He has seen it. And for thousands of years, he has tried to stop it. But fate cannot be stopped. So wrap yourself in your blankets. The wind is getting colder. The shadows are getting longer. Let us begin the story of the end. It begins with a nightmare. Odin, the king of the gods, the one-eyed wanderer, travels to the deepest grave to wake a dead seeress, a vulva. He pulls her from the cold earth and demands to know the future. She does not want to speak, but Odin forces her, and she sings him a song of terror. "I see a brother fighting brother," she whispers. "I see the world tree shaking. I see the wolf breaking his chains. But the trigger," she says, "will not be a sword. It will be a death, the death of the fairest of all gods, Baldur. Baldur is the god of light. He is so beautiful, so pure, that light literally shines from his skin. Everyone loves him. To kill Baldur is to kill the hope of the world. Frigg, the queen of the gods and mother of Baldur, tries to cheat fate. She travels across all 9 realms. She makes every living thing swear an oath never to hurt Baldur. Fire swears, water swears, iron, stone, wood, sickness, venom. They all swear. Baldur becomes invincible. The gods make a game of it. They throw axes and spears at him, and the weapons simply bounce off, refusing to hurt the god of light. Laughter fills the halls of Asgard. But in the shadows, Loki watches. Loki, the trickster, the agent of chaos. He hates this perfection. He disguises himself and learns that Frigg forgot to ask one tiny thing. A small plant growing west of Valhalla, the mistletoe. It seemed too young, too harmless to threaten a god. Loki takes a branch of mistletoe. He sharpens it into a dart. He finds Hodder, the blind god, standing alone in the darkness while others play. "Why don't you honor your brother?" Loki asks. "I cannot see him," Hodder replies, "and I have no weapon." "I will guide your hand," Loki whispers. "Here is a wand." Hodder throws, the mistletoe flies through the air. It does not turn away. It has sworn no oath. It pierces Baldur straight through the chest. The god of light falls. The laughter in Asgard stops instantly. It is replaced by a silence so heavy that it crushes the soul. Baldur is dead, and with him, the warmth of the world begins to fade. After Baldur fell, the Aesir carried his body to the sea. They laid him on his great ship, Hringhorni. It was the largest ship ever built. The plan was to push the ship into the water and set it on fire, sending the god of light to the afterlife in glory. But the ship was too heavy. It was laden with gold, weapons, and the weight of the god's grief. No one could move it. Even Thor, with his belt of strength, could not budge the keel from the sand. Desperate, they sent for a giantess from Jotunheim named Hyrrokin. She arrived riding a massive wolf. For reins, she used living, venomous snakes. When she dismounted, she walked to the prow of the ship. With a single, mighty shove, she pushed Hringhorni into the water. The force was so violent that fire flashed from the rollers, and the earth shook. Thor, enraged that a giantess succeeded where he failed, reached for his hammer to kill her, but the other gods held him back. This was a day of mourning, not war. They placed Baldur on the pyre. His wife Nanna looked at his dead face. Her heart, unable to bear the sorrow, literally burst inside her chest. She fell dead beside her husband. The gods placed her on the fire too. Then Odin stepped forward. He placed his golden ring Draupnir on Baldur's chest and whispered a secret into his dead son's ear, a secret that remains unknown to this day. Finally, Thor consecrated the fire with Mjolnir. But in his grief and anger, seeing a dwarf named Lita running near his feet, Thor kicked the dwarf into the roaring flames. The fire consumed them all: god, goddess, dwarf, and horse. As the burning ship drifted out to sea, the light of the world vanished into the dark water. While the funeral fires burned, Baldur's mother, Frigg, asked for a volunteer. "Who among you will ride to Helheim?" she asked. "Who will bargain with death to bring my son back?" Hermod the Brave, another son of Odin, stepped forward. He mounted Sleipnir, Odin's 8-legged steed. This was not a journey for the living. Hermod rode for 9 nights through valleys so dark and deep that he saw nothing: no stars, no moon, just the sound of hoofbeats on stone. He reached the river Gjöll. Spanning it was the Gjallarbrú, the bridge of the dead, thatched with glittering gold. The guardian of the bridge, a maiden named Modgud, stopped him. "Why do you ride here?" she asked. "The bridge thunders under you. You do not have the color of dead men. You are still flushed with blood." "I ride to find Baldur," Hermod replied. "He has passed," she said. "Ride north and down." Hermod rode until he reached the gates of Hell. They were high, barred with iron. He spurred Sleipnir. The great horse leaped over the gates without touching them. Inside, the air was still and smelled of wet earth. Hermod walked into the hall and saw his brother, Baldur, sitting in the seat of honor. But Baldur was pale. The light was gone. Hermod begged the queen of the dead, Hel. She sat on her throne, half her face beautiful flesh, the other half blue and rotting corpse meat. "If he is so loved," Hel said coldly, "then let everything in the world weep for him. If all things, living and dead, weep, he shall return. But if one thing refuses, he stays with me." Hermod raced back to the living world. The gods sent messengers everywhere. And indeed, the world wept. Men wept. Stones wept, as they do when covered in dew. Trees wept. But in a dark cave, they found a giantess named Thuk. It was Loki in disguise. "Weep for Baldur," the messengers cried. Thuk looked at them with cold eyes. "Living or dead, I loved not the churl's son. Let Hel hold what she has." She refused to shed a tear, and because of that one refusal, the gates of death slammed shut forever. Baldur was lost, and the last hope for peace was gone. The gods are consumed by grief and rage. They hunt Loki down. There are no more jokes, no more tolerance. They drag him to a dark cave deep beneath the earth. To punish him, they take his own sons. They turn one into a wolf and have him tear the other apart. They take the entrails of his son and use them as chains to bind Loki to 3 sharp rocks. The chains turn to iron. He cannot move. But the torture is not over. The giantess Skadi places a venomous serpent directly above Loki's head. Drip, drip, drip. The burning poison falls onto Loki's face. It burns his skin like acid. His faithful wife, Sigyn, stands beside him, holding a bowl to catch the venom. She stands there for eternity, loyal in the darkness. But eventually, the bowl fills up. She must turn away to empty it. In that split second, the venom strikes Loki's eyes. He screams. He thrashes against his chains. His convulsing is so violent that the earth shakes. Up above, men call these earthquakes. But down there, it is just the scream of a god waiting for revenge. Loki lies in the dark, waiting. He knows the prophecy too. He knows that one day the chains will rust. He knows that one day the bowl will fall. And when that day comes, he will burn the world. Time passes, centuries, millennia, and then the warning comes. It does not come with trumpets, it comes with the cold. Snow begins to fall in Asgard. Then, in Midgard, the world of men. Men wait for spring, but spring does not come. The summer does not come. There is only frost. This is Fimbulvita, the mighty winter. For 3 years, the snow falls without ceasing. The sun is just a pale ghost behind grey clouds. The crops die in the fields. The cattle freeze in the barns. The rivers turn to solid ice. Hunger changes men. When the food runs out, the laws run out. In the long darkness of the great winter, civilization collapses. Fathers kill sons for a piece of stale bread. Brothers slaughter brothers for a warm coat. Incest, murder, chaos. The bonds of kinship are snapped. The Volva's prophecy comes true. Axes times, sword times, shields are split. Wind times, wolf times, before the world falls. The earth is cold, but the hearts of men are colder. Midgard becomes a graveyard buried in white. Why does the sun not return? Because it is being hunted. In Norse mythology, the sun and the moon are chased across the sky by 2 massive wolves, Skjöll and Hati. For eons, the chariots of the sun and moon were too fast. But now, the horses are tired. The cosmos is weakening. The great winter has slowed everything down. On the last day of the 3rd winter, the wolves catch their prey. Imagine looking up at the sky. You see the pale sun, and then you see a massive jaw opening. Darkness swallowing the light. Skjöll eats the sun. Hati eats the moon. The stars, untethered by gravity, fall from the sky like burning rain. The world is plunged into absolute suffocating darkness. And then, the sound. In the iron wood, a rooster with feathers the color of dried blood begins to crow. Fjalar. In Valhalla, a rooster with feathers of gold answers him. Gullinkambi. And in the underworld, in the dark halls of hell, a soot-red rooster screams. They are not waking the morning, they are waking the end. The vibration of their crowing shatters the silence. Deep beneath the earth, the iron chains, which have held for thousands of years, begin to crack. Snap. Loki opens his eyes. The venom does not hurt anymore. There is only hate. The fetters are broken. The monster is loose. The darkness has fallen. The sun is gone. The winter has killed the world of men. Now, the terror moves to the roots. Yggdrasil, the world tree, the ash that holds the 9 realms together, begins to tremble. Imagine a tree that spans dimensions. Its branches touch the stars. Its roots go down to the darkest hells. It shudders. Leaves the size of islands fall from its branches. The ground in Midgard does not just shake, it rips open. Mountains crumble into dust. The trees are uprooted. The barriers that separated the worlds are shattering. In the deep, black oceans of Midgard, something is moving. Jormungandr, the Midgard serpent. He is so large that he encircles the entire world, biting his own tail. He has slept for eons in the cold, crushing depths. But now, in the darkness, he releases his tail. The ocean explodes. Imagine a snake the size of a continent, rising from the water. As he breaches the surface, he creates waves so high they swallow the mountains. The water is not just water anymore, it is black poison. Ether. Jormungandr exhales. A cloud of venomous steam covers the sky. He sprays poison into the air and the sea, killing every fish, every bird, every living thing that the great winter missed. He is thrashing towards the land. He is coming for his old enemy, Thor. And on that poisoned ocean, a ship sets sail. This is the most terrifying image in all of mythology. The ship is named Naglfar. It is not made of wood. It is not made of iron. It is made from the fingernails and toenails of dead men. For thousands of years, every time a man died with his nails uncut, he added a piece to this ship. It is a vessel of neglect, a vessel of corpses. It is gray, pale, and rotting. The pilot of the ship is the giant Hrym. Some say it is Loki himself. The crew consists of the Draga, the walking dead, blue and bloated from the grave. They are sailing from the east. They are coming to the battlefield of Vigrid. While the serpent thrashes in the sea, a howl tears through the land. On the island of Lyngvi, the great wolf Fenrir has been bound for ages. The gods tricked him. They bound him with Gleipnir, a magical ribbon as light as silk, but stronger than iron. Tyr, the god of war, sacrificed his hand to place it on him. But the magic has faded. The earth is broken. Fenrir stretches. His muscles, grown massive from eons of hatred, bunch up. Snap. The silk ribbon tears. The fetters shatter. Fenrir is free. He opens his mouth. His lower jaw touches the earth. His upper jaw touches the sky. If there were room, he would open it even wider. Fire burns in his eyes. His nostrils flare with the smell of Odin. He begins to run. And wherever he runs, he swallows everything in his path. Rivers, hills, hope. He is running towards the gods. Look to the south, to the realm of Muspelheim, the land of fire. The sky there rips open. Out come the sons of Muspel, the fire giants. Leading them is Surtur. Surtur is older than the gods. He was there before the world was created, waiting in the flame. In his hand, he carries a sword. It is not made of steel. It is made of pure, concentrated starlight. It shines brighter than the sun that was just eaten. When he swings it, the air itself catches fire. He leads his army towards the Bifrost, the rainbow bridge that connects the world of men to the home of the gods. They march onto the bridge. The Bifrost is magic. It shimmers with colors, but it was not built to hold the weight of the end of the world. Under the hooves of the fire horses, under the boots of the giants, the bridge cracks. With a sound like shattering glass, the rainbow bridge breaks. The link between the worlds is severed. There is no retreat. High on the walls of Asgard stands Heimdall, the watchman. He needs less sleep than a bird. He can see grass growing in the fields. He can hear the wool growing on a sheep. He has stood there for thousands of years, watching for this exact moment. He sees the wolf. He sees the serpent. He sees the ship of nails. He sees the fire giants. He turns. He reaches for the Gjallarhorn, the resounding horn. He lifts it to his lips. He takes a breath that draws in the air of all 9 realms. And he blows. The sound is not just a noise. It is a physical shockwave. It wakes every sleeping god. It wakes every dead warrior in Valhalla. It shakes the dew off the leaves of Yggdrasil. It is the saddest sound ever heard, because it means only one thing. Time has run out. Odin wakes up. He does not panic. He is the god of wisdom. He knew this day would come, but even the Allfather feels the weight of fear. Before he puts on his armor, he does one last thing. He rides his 8-legged horse, Sleipnir, to the well of Mimir. Mimir is the severed head of a giant, kept alive by magic, bubbling with ancient wisdom. Odin whispers to the head. He asks for counsel. We do not know what Mimir told him. Perhaps he told him how to win. Or perhaps he told him that there is no winning, that the only choice is to die well. Odin stands up. He puts on his golden helmet. He takes his spear, Gungnir. In the great hall of Valhalla, there are 540 doors, and out of each door, 800 warriors march shoulder to shoulder. These are the Einherjar, the chosen dead, Vikings, kings, berserkers who died in battle over thousands of years. Odin saved them for this day. They put on their helmets. They sharpen their axes. They are not fighting for gold. They are not fighting for land. They are fighting for existence itself. They march out to the plains of Vigrid. The field of battle stretches 100 leagues in every direction. On one side, the gods, the heroes, the light. On the other, the giants, the monsters, the dead, the dark. The silence before the charge is heavy. Thor grips his hammer, Mjolnir, so tight his knuckles turn white. He looks at the ocean, waiting for the serpent. Odin looks at the wolf. Frey looks at Surtur. The wind stops, and then the clash begins. The vast plain of Vigrid is shaking. The armies collide. The first of the great duels begins. Freyr, the god of summer and fertility, rides out to meet Surtur, the fire giant. This is a tragedy born of love. Years ago, Freyr gave away his magical sword, a sword that could fight on its own to win the hand of the giantess Gyd. Now, facing the end of the world, he stands unarmed. He holds only an antler of a stag, a horn against a sun star. Surtur approaches like a walking volcano. His sword of fire swings. Freyr fights bravely. He stabs the giant with the antler, drawing black blood. But flesh cannot fight fire forever. Surtur brings his blade down. The heat is so intense, it evaporates the tears on Freyr's face before he dies. The god of summer falls, and with him, the hope of life withers. In the center of the battlefield, the king meets the beast. Odin, the All-Father, wearing his golden helmet and blue cloak, rides Sleipnir toward Fenrir. The wolf is now monstrous. His jaw spans the horizon. Odin knows this moment. He has seen it in his visions for 1,000 years. He knows he cannot win. But a Viking does not fight to win. He fights to die well. Odin throws his spear, Gungnir. It strikes the wolf, but the beast is too large, too full of hate. Fenrir lunges. It is not a battle of skill. It is an execution. The wolf swallows Odin whole. There is no grave for the king of gods, no body to burn. He is simply gone. Swallowed by the darkness he spent his life trying to hold back. But Odin is not unavenged. From the side, a silent figure steps forward. Vidar, the silent god, Odin's son. He has been preparing for this single moment since the dawn of time. He wears a boot, a strange, mismatched boot made from all the scraps of leather that shoemakers have thrown away for centuries. It is the thickest, strongest leather in existence. Fenrir, still choking on Odin, turns to this new challenger. The wolf opens his mouth to swallow Vidar, but Vidar steps into the mouth. He plants that massive, heavy boot on the wolf's lower jaw. He reaches up with his hands and grabs the upper jaw. And with a roar that finally breaks his silence, Vidar pulls. Crack. The sound of the wolf's jaw snapping echoes across all 9 realms. He rips the beast apart. The monster is dead. The father is avenged. On a ridge overlooking the carnage, the two old enemies find each other. Loki, the traitor. Heimdall, the watchman. They have hated each other since the beginning. There are no words left, no tricks. They rush at each other with swords drawn. Loki is quick, dancing like a flame. Heimdall is stoic, immovable like a mountain. They strike at the exact same second. Loki's blade pierces Heimdall's chest. Heimdall's sword takes Loki's head. They fall together in the mud. The trickster and the guardian, bound together in death as they were in life. And now, the main event. The strongest god against the biggest monster. Thor sees the serpent, Jormungandr, thrashing on the land, spewing poison that turns the soil to acid. Thor screams a challenge. He swings Mjolnir. The hammer crackles with blue lightning. He leaps. The serpent strikes, snapping jaws the size of a city gate. Thor smashes the snake's head, again and again. The impact is so hard, it flattens mountains miles away. Finally, with a blow that drains every ounce of his strength, Thor crushes the serpent's skull. Jormungandr falls dead. The earth shakes one last time. Thor stands over the carcass. He is victorious. He is the mightiest being in the universe. He turns to walk away. He takes one step. The poison is in the air. He takes a second step. His vision blurs. 3 steps. His lungs burn like fire. 4 steps. Mjolnir feels heavy. 5 steps. He stumbles. 6 steps. His knees hit the ground. 7 steps. He crawls. 8 steps. He looks at the sky one last time. 9 steps. The god of thunder falls face down into the dirt. The serpent's venom has done its work. Thor is dead. The gods are dead. The monsters are dead. But Surtur, the fire giant, is still standing. He looks around at the field of corpses. There is nothing left to conquer. So he raises his sword of starlight. He plunges it into the heart of the earth. Fire erupts from the core. The flames rise higher than the mountains. They burn the sky. They burn the branches of Yggdrasil. The smoke chokes the stars. And then slowly, the burnt, blackened shell of the earth begins to sink. It sinks into the boiling sea. Steam rises, the hissing sound fades, and then silence. Absolute, empty silence. The void has returned. Time passes, who knows how long, perhaps 1,000 years, perhaps a day. In the middle of the void, the ocean begins to calm. The water clears, and from the depths, a new earth rises. It is green, greener than before. The waterfalls flow with crystal water. The eagle flies over the mountain to hunt fish. The sun, a new sun, the daughter of the one that was eaten, shines brighter than her mother. In a small grove of trees called Hodmimus Holt, something stirs. 2 humans, a man named Lif, a woman named Lifthrasir. They hid in the wood during the Great Fire, surviving on nothing but morning dew. They step out into the sunlight. They look at each other. They are the Adam and Eve of the new world. From them, all the generations of men will spring again, but they are not alone. Walking through the long grass of the old plain of Ida, figures appear. They are young gods, Vidar and Vali, the sons of Odin who survived the fire. Magni and Modi, the sons of Thor. They carry their father's hammer, Mjolnir, between them. It is no longer heavy. And then, walking from the shadows of the underworld, comes Baldur. The death that started it all is reversed. The world of the dead has broken open. He is joined by Hoda, his blind brother. They are reconciled. No more hate, no more darkness. They sit down, in the tall grass. And there, hidden in the green stems, they find something. Small, golden figures. The golden chess pieces that the old gods used to play with in the beginning of time. They pick them up. They look at the little golden Odin, the golden Thor. They smile, and they begin to play a new game. The storm is over. The fire has burned itself out. The old world of ice and blood is gone. What remains is the green earth, the morning dew, and the peace of a new day. You have walked through the fire. You have seen the end of time. And now you are safe on the other shore. The darkness cannot touch you here. Let the story drift away like smoke. Let the names of the gods fade into the wind. Rest now. The cycle is complete. The world is breathing again. And so are you. Deep, slow, peaceful.